Marvel's third and final live-action show of the year, She-Hulk Attorney at Law, is pretty much upon us. So in today's video, we're going to be taking our first look at the show, and at other teasers and clips we've gotten so far, as well as some additional information we thought you should know. But before we get to that, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our channel and for the next videos. So let's get to it. Okay, before we dive into the details of our first look and at some teaser clips, allow us to give you some background information on the show itself. A quick overview. She-Hulk Attorney at Law is the third and final Marvel live-action Disney Plus show of 2022, following Moon Knight in March and Ms. Marvel in June. The show airs on August 18th and stars orphan Black actress Tatiana Maslany, who will play the lead role of She-Hulk herself, aka Jennifer Walters. Also joining the cast are Mark Ruffalo, you guys know him as Dr. Bruce Banner or the Hulk, Jamila Jamil as villain Titania, Tim Roth as Abomination, Ginger Gonzaga as Nikki Ramos, and Renee Elise Goldsberry as Amelia. According to Marvel, the official synopsis of She-Hulk Attorney at Law is as follows. Jennifer Walters, an attorney specializing in superhuman-oriented legal cases, must navigate the complicated life of a single 30-something who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk. We don't know about you, but we're extremely excited to see Jennifer embark on all her little adventures, both as a badass attorney, as well as, well, a superpowered Hulk. Now, let's get into our first look at the show. We got the trailer and our very first look at She-Hulk Attorney at Law back in May. It's been quite some time since then, so allow us to briefly break down what we were shown in the first trailer of the show. The obvious connection to the Hulk. As it was briefly mentioned in the trailer, Jennifer Walters, or She-Hulk, is the cousin of none other than Dr. Bruce Banner, or the Hulk, who gained her powers after a blood transfusion. There is a high possibility that this particular accident and subsequent blood transfusion will be shown at some point in the series, but let's keep in mind that Marvel does tend to gloss over origin stories at times. In the trailer, Bruce is also shown to have become some sort of a mentor to Jennifer, and we see him attempt to bring out her Hulk powers through a series of deadly tests. The celebrity of She-Hulk. One of the most interesting things about She-Hulk in the comics, and seemingly the series as well, is the fact that unlike her male counterpart, Jennifer can retain her intelligence even in Hulk form. She's comfortable enough to be going out while in Hulk form and attend several events like red carpet ones in glamorous dresses. Jennifer has such high social status that she even has to deal with reporters and paparazzi, a true celebrity. Aside from all that, as She-Hulk, she even gives dating life a shot in one of the trailer's more memorable scenes, as she's shown carrying her date into the bedroom. Talk about breaking norms. The balancing act. We all know Jennifer spends time training and getting well acquainted with her newfound powers, but she also has to contend with her day job as an attorney. From what we can work out, the show is seemingly setting up her career as the lead attorney of a major law firm's newly formed Superpowered Humans division. An attorney for the heroes. It doesn't get any cooler than that. Whether she is defending or prosecuting these superpowered individuals remains unclear, but it is implied that one of her clients will be none other than Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination, who, if you remember, first appeared in The Incredible Hulk in 2008 and then reappeared in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. It's unclear what the character has been up to in 10 years since his first appearance, but hopefully we will have that addressed in the show. It is also confirmed that Benedict Wong will be returning for the show, but at the moment it is unclear if he will be an ally to She-Hulk or if he'll continue as Abomination's fighting partner. Now let's move on to the next trailer. The second and more prominent look at the show was released during Marvel's panel at the San Diego Comic-Con in July. In the clip, we see green, but not so mean Bruce showing and trying to guide Jennifer's newfound Hulkness. The two are seemingly at some remote beachside resort in Mexico, which of course has a high-tech lab. The good doctor teaches Jennifer that being a Hulk is all about balance, and that one thing that can seriously help is yoga. He also makes sure that she can use her powers in a crisis if ever she needs to. "You have so much to learn," Bruce confesses as he slams a huge folder in front of our pancake-scoffing heroine. "I'm clearly nailing it at all these things," she quickly claps back in another scene before turning directly at the camera. "Hello, broken fourth wall." and saying that Bruce doesn't mean when he says that she can go back to her normal life as an attorney. Aside from these little back and forths between Bruce and Jennifer, the teaser also reintroduces the Incredible Hulk big bad Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination. At her day job as an attorney, Jennifer is tasked with representing Blonsky in court. Still, her conflict of interest turns out to be the least of her worries, when Jamila Jamil's head-turning Titania shows up to wreak all sorts of havoc. She's also not the only villain who shows up. Fresh from his fight with Wanda Maximoff in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, everyone's favorite Wong even drops by, while Charlie Cox's Daredevil seems like he's ready to show down against Jennifer in the final shot of the trailer. And we're not talking about their obvious courtroom feud. We're getting both Wong and Matt Murdock on this show. It truly doesn't get any better than this, folks. Now let's take a third and final look at the She-Hulk content we've got so far. TV spot breakdown. In the latest TV spot for the series, one particular sequence includes the live-action debut of one of Marvel's weirdest villains ever. In a scene that is set at Abomination's Abomaste retreat, one man can be seen in a costume that is almost identical to the one worn by the Silver Age incarnation of Porcupine, who was previously rumored to be making an appearance in the show. Here's some official information on the guy if you're unfamiliar with him. Initially created by Stan Lee and Don Heck in 1963's Tales to Astonish number 48, Porcupine was first established as Alexander Gentry, an army weapons designer who decided to create a battlesuit reminiscent of a porcupine. Gentry developed the battlesuit to have quills that could shoot various weapons or gases, and eventually took the suit for himself and decided to turn to a life of crime. Porcupine went toe-to-toe with Ant-Man and the Wasp, later played a role in interrupting Reed Richards and Sue Storm's wedding, and joined an array of supervillain groups over the years. He was later succeeded in the role by a man named Roger Gawking, who later joined the Thunderbolts, so we can't wait to see him in action. Now before we let you go, we're going to leave you with a little treat. Here are 2 Easter eggs from the She-Hulk Attorney at Law trailer that you might have missed. Hulk's right arm. At the very start of the trailer, Smart Hulk blows an air horn into cousin Jen Walters' ears to startle her awake and morph her into She-Hulk. As Jen yells at Bruce, which we completely understand because being woken up by an air horn is pretty brutal, even if you have superhuman abilities, we see that he is taking notes on her transformation using his right hand. Wait, right hand? Didn't he fry his right arm in Endgame when he put on the gauntlet? Yes, he did, and in a separate featurette, we see Banner in human form still has his arm in a sling when a pre-She-Hulk Jen is involved in a car crash with him. Yet somehow, that arm eventually gets fully healed. Guess that gamma-powered healing is more powerful than we thought. Breaking the fourth wall. Hulk might smash buildings, but She-Hulk breaks reality. At one point in the trailer, we see her looking at the camera and delivering a commentary on her life. There's nothing quite like characters breaking the fourth wall. Does that remind you of a certain red merc with a mouth? Well, here's a fun fact for you. She-Hulk started breaking the fourth wall back in the sensational She-Hulk meta-comic book from the 1990s. Yes, she was actually the blueprint for what Deadpool has made part of his brand. MCU's other famous lawyer will be present. The show may be titled She-Hulk Attorney at Law, but true MCU fans know Jennifer Walters isn't Marvel's first superhero lawyer. That guy shows up at the very end of the trailer, somersaulting over She-Hulk and wielding his batons, while sporting a new red and yellow suit that's a callback to his original comic book costume. Yup, Charlie Cox's blind lawyer Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, is going to be part of this show too, and we're not just talking about a cameo. He's got quite an important and big supporting role that spans over a few episodes. A win for the Daredevil stans in the audience. We're certainly excited to see Walters versus Murdock, but we've got our fingers crossed for some shared screen time in the courtroom as well. Superhero fights are becoming almost passé these days, but some good superhero legal drama? Now that's something worth tuning in for. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. How excited are you for She-Hulk Attorney at Law? Let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more. See you next time! Bye!